This video and its contents are for adult collectors. For a guy who's never had a toy before, Impactor came out swinging. This is a fantastic mold that Hasbro produced for this figure, and there's a version for it for everyone. You have this one, the Netflix one, which has all this extra greebling and paint on it, and then you also have the Siege version, which is just a clean one of this, the 3-pack version from Siege as well that's more IDW inspired, and then you have the new Wreckers one, which is Marvel Comics inspired. I love all the details here. It looks like a metal slug tank, and I absolutely adore it. The Netflix version was a Decepticon though, and this has an Autobot badge, so that's a bit strange. I do still like it, and I don't mind anything about it. The tank looks fantastic, so who cares? It also has a fully functional turret, being able to swivel left and right and move the blaster up and down. A huge plus for this. When's the last time we got a tank with a functional turret? I don't think Warpath had that. For size comparisons, here he is next to Legacy Burnout, Legacy Goldbug, Reveal the Shield Jazz, and of course, Machine Wars Hoist. Transformation on Impactor is pretty simple, so we're just going to start by removing this piece and kind of folding this over, and then we're going to untab the feet back here, if they will untab, and then we're just going to rotate these whole sections down. I really like the way that the legs come together here. From there, we can fold this until it clicks. There it goes. And then we can fold these in and flip out the toes. Same on the other side, fold them in, flip out the toes. And the claws do have like a little section to go in there. From here, what you want to do is lift up on this top section. This is holding the arms in. So untab that and lift it up, separate the arms and remove the blaster. Then bring the arms out, fold this down, and then bring the arms back down. And if you're going to do the one-handed look like I like doing, you're going to leave this hand folded in, and you're going to fold this hand out and around. Come back here, lift this open, fold out the head, rotate it 180, close that back up, and take the harpoon, plug that in, take his blaster, give it to his hand, and there we go. We have Siege Impactor in robot mode. Impactor is a tall and bulky bot. This dude is way above average. I don't think he's quite Hoist height, but he is a tall boy, standing about the same size as Siege Ironhide. He does have hollow legs. It's probably the worst part about this figure, but there are a lot of kits that do fix that. I do love how he looks here. This is an absolutely fantastic bot mode, recreating a lot of classic details that Impactor's known to have, while still updating it to fit in with Siege and the War for Cybertron trilogy. By association, Legacy to a degree as well, although Legacy's been a little flanderized. With that said, he does have a bit of a mushy head sculpt. The lip is a little faded, and it might just be mold degradation on the head for this use, but it is something to point out here. I do really like that he uses the whole tank for his bot mode too. There's really no new details here, which is nice. It's nice to see a bot that uses their entire vehicle to get to their robot mode. For size comparisons, here they are next to Legacy Cannonball, Legacy Windblade, Legacy Animated Optimus Prime, channel mascot Shattershock, and of course, Machine Wars Hoist. Articulation on Impactor is pretty good for a Siege Deluxe. He has a ball jointed neck, but it really only gets you just a little bit of wiggle as well as side to side. The arms rotate 180 and go out more than 90, and then you can do like a full inversion if you flex this joint here. He has a bicep swivel and a 90-degree elbow, nothing at the wrist. The shoulder cannon can flip and fold out of the way, although I know on the Wreck and Rule version that this can actually like detach. And then this wrist over here, if you have the harpoon, it can swivel. He has a upper chest joint that can swivel, that's supposed to serve as his waist joint. And if you futz the transformation, you can get a ab crunch that sort of locks right here and then locks right there. So, you know, pretty neat. Legs go forward about that far, go back pretty unimpeded, go out, and they are on soft ratchets going out. And then he has a 90 at the knee as well as a thigh swivel. Now, you can see that doesn't really get in the way, but he does suffer from long shins, short thigh syndrome. So, you know, you're not getting a ton of use out of those thighs. And then he does have ankle pivots. They go about that far in, and the claws do not thing. And his toes will go down. So that's about it on Impactor and his articulation. Impactor is a standout of Siege, which in a line where the deluxes are plentiful and extremely good, Impactor standing out is a great thing. I think Hasbro and Takara really wanted to give fans of Impactor who had been patiently waiting for this figure a real Impactor to enjoy. On top of that, they did every version you could possibly want. There's this one, the Netflix version, and the Siege one that are kind of a amalgamation or a generation style. Then there's the IDW one from the 3-pack and the Marvel Comics one from the 2-pack. So whichever one you're looking for, you can find. On top of that, he doesn't go for much on the aftermarket aside from the 3-pack version. So if you have one that you prefer, you can pretty much pick it up without problem. There's even the Frankentron version that I wouldn't mind getting myself, and all Impactors are good. I like that he's so big, and as I mentioned earlier, the only qualms are his hollow legs. But with all that said, thank you so much for watching. YouTube thinks you'll like this video over here, and I'll see you in the next one. This has been Bots Obsession. I'd also like to give a shout out to my Patreon supporters, Luke Thompson, Grim Lockdown, Proton Collectibles, and Snowflake 38.6. Thank you for supporting the channel.